As I was going through the points of this video that I'm about to outline to you guys, I realized that a lot of what I'm going to say is kind of a sequel to the video I made a couple of days ago about why you should be stockpiling picks for the 2025 Dynasty Rookie class. This is a genius 2024 Dynasty Rookie draft strategy that I don't hear anybody else talking about right now. And I think the main reason why is because the first rounders every single year, they always get the attention, right? Whether it's a first rounder in 2021, 2015, 2007, first rounders are always the picks getting the hype in Dynasty Rookie drafts. Well, I'm about to outline the truth to you guys and what I believe we should be doing. But first, this is a new channel exclusively for Dynasty, so please go down there and drop a like on this video and subscribe to this channel to show your support if you get value from this video today. So here's the truth about first round picks. Over the last several years, I went back to 2018 and went from 2023 to 2018 to kind of see who the top 10 picks were in every Dynasty Rookie draft and see how they've kind of come out so far in Dynasty Fantasy Football and where their Dynasty value is and what kind of finishes they've had over their careers. So this 2023 class, obviously, we're still talking about them. And when we talk about them, we have to acknowledge that they're still early on in their careers in the NFL, so it's just hard to tell whether or not there's an actual bust in this class yet. You know, guys like Quentin Johnston look like a bust right now, but things seem to be opening up for him at the same time now with Jim Harbaugh and now that Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are both gone. So there's things that can open up here. But as far as I'm concerned, there's two guys that I view as game changers in this top 10. You can see this full top 10 on the screen right now. There's two game changers, really. It's Bijan Robinson and it's Jahmyr Gibbs. So those top two picks right now, they look like the game changers. I still believe in Jack Smith-Njigba. I like Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Anthony Richardson, Devon Achane. But again, we don't know exactly how these guys are going to turn out 2 to 3 years from now. Now, 2022 is where I start to differentiate some guys right here. So in 2022, you know, we've obviously got 2 years now of that rookie class and how they performed in fantasy football so far. So what I'm looking for here is players who have finished inside of the top 5 in one particular fantasy season at their respective positions. Some people say that's a pretty aggressive target that I'm trying to shoot for in a dynasty rookie pick. Well, this is my whole point with Dynasty Rookie picks. You're trying to go for upside. You're trying to go for upside. So I'm looking for top 5 guys here. There's one player in this class who's been a top 5 player at his position, and that was Breece Hall. We may see it from Drake London. We may see it from Garrett Wilson. May see it from Chris Olave. I don't know, but I do know this. Breece Hall is the only one in that top 10 who has been a top 5 player in that rookie class. 2021, 3 top 5 players in this class: Jamar Chase, Travis Etienne, and Najee Harris. Those were the 3 guys that were top 5 at their respective positions, one way or the other, one year or another. Najee Harris, we could argue, dude's dynasty value is just not that high right now. Travis Etienne, probably on the downward turn as well, but at least at one point, you were able to get elite level production from them in fantasy football. 2020, 3 top 5 players again: Jonathan Taylor, CeeDee Lamb, and Justin Jefferson as well. And again, all those guys still very much relevant in Dynasty today. 2019, 5 top 5 players: Josh Jacobs, AJ Brown, TJ Hawkinson, David Montgomery, and Deebo Samuel. That's a strong rookie class right there, because you've got 5 guys who finished inside of the top 5 at their respective positions, one year or another. Again, a lot of these guys still very relevant today in Dynasty Fantasy Football. And lastly, 2018, you had 3 top 5 players: Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, and Calvin Ridley. So what's the point of me going through this right now? Because obviously every draft is different. Running back sometimes is a strong year. Look at 2020, 5 running backs straight were going off the board. So every year it's a different class. There's different strengths to each class. Quarterback class heavy sometimes, running back heavy, wide receiver heavy, whatever the case may be. Every class is different and we all understand this. The point of me going through this right now is to kind of show you guys that the max level of guys that are going to be top 5 fantasy finishers in any rookie class over the last several years has been 5 guys in one rookie class. 5 guys in the first round specifically. So if we apply that, and we just go based on history, and we apply it to this year's Dynasty rookie class, if you have a top 4 pick, you stay with that top 4 pick. And this includes all formats, whether you're one quarterback, whether you're in a super flex, whether you're in a tight end premium, you have a top 4 pick, you stick with it. If you're in a tight end premium, I would argue top 5 pick so you can get Brock Bowers in one of those top 5 picks. You want to stick with those guys because this is a very talented class at the front end. At the front end, there's a ton of talent in this class. Specifically, Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, and Brock Bowers. That's what we're looking at here with the game-changing potential talent in this type of class right here. But then what happens after you get past those 5 guys right here is that there's a big teardrop in the guys that we're looking at here. Because look at the draft board on Sleeper right now. You can see guys right away. Brian Thomas is the next guy up. He is simply just not in the same tier as all those other guys that I just lifted off. Jaden Daniels getting a lot of hype right now, but again, not the same level of prospect comparatively to a guy like Caleb Williams is. Xavier Worthy, fastest 40 time, but production, there's a lot to be desired on the table with Xavier Worthy. Drake May, Adonai Mitchell, Troy Franklin, guys like that, you're getting in like the 105 to 110 to 112 range depending on if you're in a 10-team league or you're in a 12-team league. So we outlined all this, right? Where do we go from here? And what's the point of me making a video like this if I'm to say that, look, the top 5 guys are great and then the rest of them, you never know if you're going to hit on them? Well, that's part of the point. But what I really want to hammer home here, and this is where I get back to the video I made about the 2025 class. If you have the 105 to the 110 and you're staring down guys like Brian Thomas, like Xavier Worthy, Adonai Mitchell, Jaden Daniels, this is a range where I would make some trades to get a future first rounder, 2025 or even 2026, and get a second round pick in this year's Dynasty rookie class. Because the main reason that I like second rounders in this year's class in particular is because of the depth at the wide receiver position in this year's class. And everybody understands this. This wide receiver class has been touted as the best in about a decade for all offseason so far. So everybody understands that the wide receivers, the best ones, they're going to go early, of course, as they always do. But there's going to be a lot of sleepers and a lot of guys going in the second, third round that are going to have a positive impact on your Dynasty Fantasy Football roster. And I just want to touch on this really quick. I understand that the running back class in this year is not nearly as talented as 2023 or even 2022 when you had Breece Hall and Kenneth Walker. This is a weak running back class. It's just the reality. But you are getting top running backs in this class in the second round right now in ADP. So if you believe in a guy like Jonathan Brooks, or if you believe in a guy like Trey Benson, kind of like I do, I believe in Trey Benson, this is a good range to go get a running back and take a shot on him for not low draft capital, but lower than a first, where you could come out with more capital on top of that for future draft picks. So let's look at some of the guys that are kind of in the second round range, like the early second to late second round range. You've got guys like Ladd McConkey, who has been getting more and more hype over the past several weeks and months, and for very good reason. Dude's a good athlete. He had a good production profile as far as the routes he was able to run on a consistent basis. Not the most wildly productive guy with big games, but he always was available to get you over the middle production, short level production, deep production. Trey Benson, again, a guy I really like in this year's class. I think is going to be the best running back in the class. Blake Corum, Keon Coleman, JJ McCarthy, Roman Wilson, Braylon Allen, and my personal favorite, Xavier Legette. So this is the type of guys that you're looking at in the second round range right here. So there's, like I said, high upside guys in this range right here. Namely, Xavier Legette, Braylon Allen, Keon Coleman maybe, and Trey Benson. There's big time talent falling in the second round here, specifically at the wide receiver position. That's the thing. And even more guys like Michael Penix, Marshawn Lloyd, Jatavian Sanders, Bo Nix, Jalen Polk, Devontae Walker are going even later on in the third round at this point. So here's the thing about this, right? When we sit back and we talk about draft capital in every Dynasty rookie draft, it's important to remember and acknowledge that second rounders are not nearly as desirable as a first round pick is. Everybody likes to have that, oh, I have a first rounder. I have 5 first rounders in this class. Well, if they're the 105 through the 110, how valuable are they really? The point in trying to get capital on top of getting a second round pick in this year's class is because not only do I believe in the guys in the second round in this year's class, but stockpiling picks for future drafts gives you the capital to be able to trade multiple picks in one draft to get a top 3, top 2 pick in any Dynasty rookie draft. That's a very important thing. So if you do this, and if you do use this strategy, and I'm actually using this strategy in one of my Dynasty leagues. Not only can you get future draft capital, but with the second round pick, you're going to have a very good shot to get the next Jaden Reed, to get the next Tank Dell, to get the next Josh Downs in this year's Dynasty rookie class. So as far as getting more in-depth about who these guys are, there's 2 options here. Number 1, stay tuned for the release of my 2024 Dynasty rookie draft guide, which is going to help identify the top sleepers and the top mid to later round guys in Dynasty rookie drafts this year. And number 2, join the Patreon today where I'm breaking down the film of all the wide receivers in this class, as many as I can get to, so you can identify the next Jaden Reed, the next Tank Dell, and the next Josh Downs. And of course, let me know what you think of this strategy right here. Let me know if you think this is stupid, or let me know if you agree with this strategy right here. And make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel to show your support.